and welcome to the future. The future of what, you ask? Nobody really knows. Hi, Ben, Big Dad Industries here, and instead of Count to 10 tonight, our technocratic actual play, we have Mummy. Because, guess what? Who got exposed to COVID and found out today? So I don't want to run a game that serious. Instead, we're playing Mummy. I'd like to thank my two players for agreeing to this on such short notice. They are both champions no matter what happens. I will explain Mummy in a little bit, but players, if you'd like to introduce yourselves, plug what pluggables you have. Be sure to follow them on Twitter with their ats underneath their pictures.
All right, I guess I'll jump in and go first. Hello, I'm Rhett Altman on Twitter at Road River Rail. And if you like bad World of Darkness humor, I might recommend my Twitter shitposting account at Tech Union Actual, where I defend normalcy for decent people.
And I am Rosie, regular size mom. You can find me on Twitter at mom_size, or on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and soon Etsy as Odd Duck Dice, because we all need more stabby dice in our lives. And tonight I am playing the Mummy Hira, and I, Rosie, am a believer in the consensus.
Nice. So, what are mummies? Hi, Betty. No, we just found out we were exposed to COVID. So, oh no, this is my shit got bad shirt. I wear it for streams. My neighbor saw me making it with fire when I first made it for a mage game, and they literally didn't ask any questions. It used to have scorch marks on it, but you can't really see them anymore. But, like, it's all torn up. I should burn it some more.
Yeah, he was literally in our yard setting a shirt on fire.
Well, driveway. My neighbor walked by with her two dogs. They're just like, what you up to? Art project? All right. Good times. She's great. So, mummies are beings from they used to be people, citizens of the great city of pillars, the city of Arem, the greatest empire humanity has ever forgotten. A place ruled by sorcerer kings and queens, I guess, and other sorcerer royalty. They're probably not all, they don't have to do the binary, Anyway, they were way more advanced than us. They were magic, and they worshipped the judges. The judges are 52 at least, maybe 52. It's Chronicles of Darkness, so it's whatever you want it to be, really. Canon is insubstantial here, but in order to preserve the will of Irem and do good works, or who knows what other reasons they got up to, they decided to make the Arisen, the mummies. They are godlike, immortal beings that sacrificed their sense of self, basically, to become tools of the divine. They awaken from time to time to fulfill the will of the judges on Earth. Or, in the case of the last time I ran this, on a space station. Outside of Earth's orbit. That one was good. Check it out on our YouTube channel if you want to know more. This one, however, will take place on Earth. They wake up, they don't know where they are, who's around them. But then they start beating angels to death with their fists. Or their magic, or whatever. They are awesome. They are unique in the sense for World of Darkness, Chronicles of Darkness games, where they start out at this very pinnacle of their power when they wake up, and they just get slowly weaker as time progresses, as their fuel runs out, basically. The Sekhem, the life force of the universe. That some believe. It is the most precious of substances. It is the greatest of energy. And right now it is coursing into the bodies of our two mummies in their tomb. The cells start to move. Everything starts coming back to life. They slowly regenerate. And with a gasp, life returns to two beings in an empty room. It's dark, but some light peeks through cracks in the ceiling. The room itself is a lot of plaster. There are exposed wires. The sacred geometry is in tatters. This... You don't have many expectations when you wake up. In fact, I'm going to say Kubo. It's not Kubo, is it?
I think you mean Kaibos?
Kaibo. I was so close. I was thinking Kubo and the 5 strings. Kaibos. This is your first awakening. So actually, I should take a step back before this. The last thing you remember in Irem is being led to the room for the rite of the Arisen. The very ritual that the sorcerers have devised to create you. After that, you know nothing. You have a general idea of floating in water. Like you're in a sensory deprivation tank. And then you are plucked out, held before a giant spectral face. Rosemary. You know what's happening here. It's the judges. They've come to call upon you once more. And you, in your shapeless, spiritual form, are held like before a giant, before a being that spends most of its time looking beyond your universe, is now focusing its attention on the two of you. And it opens one of its many mouths on its face, and you hear in your head, "There is a plea for the power of the judges. You will go. You will make things right. Do this in our name." And there's a shriek that you can feel in your bones. Despite being made of incorporeal matter, you feel it deep in your very center of being, where you are flung off back into your body. I always forget to start with that part. Welcome to West March's Mummy, the game where I just insert characters into whatever, wherever, and I do whatever. So yes, you wake up in this room. You are wrapped in tatters of Irame's clothing. And you know not when or where you are, other than that you are in a tomb. There are 5, I want to say, daises or platforms in the room you're in, made of stone, very well carved. One's actually been broken in half by a fallen beam, but you see each other in the dark.
We live again.
Did we live before?
I have. Many times.
I don't know.
Then you will learn. I will learn again as well. All we need to know is that the judges have called us, put us here, and we will do their will, for we are their tools. Uh, Kira looks around. Is there any evidence of the rest of their moret?
Now,
Where are the others?
oh, so right now your Sechem for each of you is now at 10. You look like horrific corpses. You look like a stereotypical, like in The Mummy when Imhotep wakes up. That is basically your appearance right now, but with clothes, burial shrouds from Irem.
And Kira gets up from her dais and starts inspecting the room. Aren't there normally supplicants somewhere?
Cultists.
Yes, someone who's called. They should be here.
Give me a composure and wits roll for perception. I'm gonna say Cubo again.
Kaibos.
Kaibos. I should write this down.
You said
Kaibos.
composure and what?
Composure and wits for a perception test. 8, 9s, and 10s are successes.
Do one subtract.
No.
2 successes? Do 10s do anything cool, or are they just a success?
10 again. If you roll a 10, it explodes.
Rad. Okay, 2 successes.
Okay. Kaibo?
Oh, that was for both of us, I see.
If you want to.
That'd be 1.
1. Cool. So it is silent. Peeking up to these cracks where light comes in, you can actually look outside. You are in some sort of... You can't recognize the architecture. The temple that your tomb is housed in seems to have fallen into massive disrepair. There is rubble in hallways, tattered carpets, dust is everywhere, carts and, cabinets in the hallways are overturned on the ground, contents spilled everywhere.
Does the destruction look recent?
No.
And you said carts and cabinets?
Yeah.
So asking as a player, what kind of carts are we talking about?
Like you'd find in an office building.
Okay, so the sort of thing that Kaivos would definitely not recognize.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like a very, very for the players. It looks like a abandoned, destroyed office building that you're in. Like you're in the basement of one.
I walk over to a spare loose file and open it.
That's you see it? You're peeking through a crack. Do you see that?
Oh, peeking through a crack. Okay.
If you'd like to walk out of, there is a door you can attempt to open.
Well, before we do that, could you describe these pillars to me? You said there were 5 pillars, and one of them was cracked by a fallen beam.
Oh, those were the 5 platforms that you were on, the slab you woke up on.
Got it. Okay.
My bad. I never know what to call them.
I noticed 5 pillars on my sheet, you see, so I thought perhaps they were decorative or symbolic.
No.
So I can slot in up to 5 players in any Mummy game.
There doesn't look like there's much for us here.
Then we will find what we were called to do. And Hira goes through the door as regally as a dusty corpse can.
Okay. The door takes some doing to pry open.
Oh, can I just like mummy force it open?
Spend me a pillar point to boost your uh, strength by 5.
I'm gonna spend a point of Ka.
Okay, your strength is now plus 5. You don't roll. Don't roll. I don't know what you're doing. Uh, what's your strength right now?
Uh, 7.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you rip open these solid metal pocket doors. Not quite blast doors. No one had the budget for that here. But you're basically like ripping open an elevator shaft, kind of thing. And in this hallway, there are no cultists awaiting you. The creak of metal finishes echoing down the hallways as you pry this open. Also, your strength's at 7 for the rest of the scene. Mummies are jokes. I love it. And this is just basic mummy stuff. But you do see flickering light down the hallway to the right in a small room. And you hear whispers. You also smell what seems to be some sort of food cooking and something burning.
Kira walks in that direction and says in Iranese, "Attend us."
Kaibo?
I was following behind. That seemed like a good place for us to start.
Okay. How loudly do you say attend us?
Super, like, this is a ringing
Like
command.
a commandment.
Yes. Attend us!
The whispering stops. Suddenly, someone very dirty with very scraggly long hair peeks out around the corner. And just freezes upon seeing 2 fucking mummies. 2 walking corpses. 2 literal goddamn mummies suddenly here. They've popped out with their wool fingerless gloves and their dusty coat and their sock hat, and they're just looking out at you.
Oh my god, are we about to convert a homeless encampment to our religion? Yes.
Did you not hear her?
So this
Do
person
I-
is very much under Cybaris, which is this instinctual fear of mummies when you see them in their true form. They were not ready for this. Looking at them though, you do see this thing mounted just like a small triangle mounted just before their right ear. It appears to be like a faded blue with this like light like going around it. That's like a green like swirling kind of pulsing light. And you hear talking. You don't know the language, but it appears to be inquiries from other voices inside of that room.
All right. Kira, I don't speak any speak English and Arabic.
What?
I speak English and Arabic.
All right. So you understand then somehow, English. Um, when did you wake up last time?
In setting, France. I made the sandwich several hundred years early.
Yes, right. Okay. Somehow the judges have whispered the language of English into your mind, and you actually understand what they're saying. Reese, what's out there? Reese, Reese, you're scaring us. Is it a threat? Is there something there? Who is it? Should we hide?
And Hira says in the language she's heard them speaking, says, there is nowhere to hide. We are the might of the judges. Bow to us and serve the true might and
I
power.
will need a presence and intimidation. Are you walking into the room or are you standing
Yes,
alone?
I am.
Okay. I no longer need an intimidation roll. Because Cyberus, like, they have to roll willpower minus your current Sechem rating, which is 10.
They will fail.
No human on Earth has a 10 in willpower. I don't care what anyone says. This is a future where I get to do whatever I want. So inside this room, there is a small fire made out of trash, on which they have a little like grill set up, like a tiny like rack made out of shelves, basically, that they appear to be cooking a rat on. It's about 4 or 5 people, all dressed in this similar style to the one that's literally that's now backing away from you. That was looking around the corner. The one that you guess is Reese. They're all very dirty. A collection of men and women. They look very thin. They smell terrible. And they look afraid. A couple of them seem to be brandishing weapons. Like you see a knife, you see an axe, and someone's holding something in their hand and like gesturing it at you. They're saying in English, "What the fuck is that? What is that? What is that? Oh God, they've come to kill us. Oh God,
I actually.
where are the pills? Quick!"
You said they were cooking. What are they cooking on their grill?
They are cooking a rat on a like wire shelf, basically.
Perfect. It's been so long since I have smelled or tasted anything that is the most delectable thing I have ever seen in my life.
There are a number of these little paper things that your companion can identify as salt and pepper that have been torn open and sprinkled onto it. That's right. They're using the salt and pepper packets in their break room.
I just completely, like, in a mixture of coldness and naivety, just walk over to the grill and just pluck the rat right off of it and start, like, smelling it intensely.
It smells pretty tasty. As a mummy, I think you are basically immune to non-supernatural diseases or poisons. So you can just go to town on that.
And I do, including the bones.
It is scrumptious. It really hits the spot in that multiple 1,000-year-old belly.
Hira says, "Fear not. We are not here to kill you. We have simply awoken. And it seems that we are needed. You live in squalid condition."
They're still afraid of you.
How do I fix that?
Let's look up Cybaris in the book.
How do I be less terrifying?
Well, you could kill them.
Oh.
You could wait for it to naturally go away, which I think will take multiple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 202.
I can also sit down and try to be friendly. Or I could just leave.
In a week. Or you can get them to try to join your cult.
That's what I was going for initially.
Mm-hmm.
So my strength is currently 7. I'm gonna keep an eye out for something I can use that for to demonstrate my might, but I'm a walking corpse. So they're probably going to she sits any of them that are any of them still seated?
2 of the 5.
She sits by them and just has her hands kind of up and then places them carefully on her knees. It says, "Tell me what has befallen this world. We are here to help."
Um, um, the world has fallen. How could you not know this?
I have slumbered many years.
I guess that makes sense. It's not the most unusual thing we've seen lately. Also, what was that language you were speaking?
The language of my home, Iramese.
It's not in our database. Gesturing to the little triangle on their ear. Anyway, so the world has been torn apart by walking gods. There's no one anything. There's nothing any of us could do anything about. You know, forgive us that. Apparently, 2 of you are now in our little camp where we were hiding out from the end.
She looks at Kaibos and is there a way I can help Kaibos learn English? Or should I just be
At some
translating?
point, I will just say Kaibos. After this scene, I will just say Kaibos in his English.
Okay. I translate for Kaibos the basic idea that there are apparently some other mummies or someone with similar power going around destroying the world.
And they correct you a little bit. I don't know, destroyed. Not destroying, it's destroyed.
This is why we have come.
To avenge it, to put it back together again, to start something on top of it.
If those that have done this are other arisen, it is our duty to put them back to slumber and bring them before the judges. This cannot be the will of the judges. If it was, they would not have brought us from the slumber of the river to here.
Understood. What do these people, such as they are, know about them?
Without waiting for the translation, the one starts talking. They came out of nowhere one day and just started destroying cities and each other, and we were caught up in the wake of it. It was like something out of the comic books.
What is a comic?
Somebody starts like going through a bag and pulls out like a small little book, tattered. Pulls out a comic book. And shows you. It's a story with pictures, probably for children. Um, this one appears to be out of Man Bat.
Their papyrus does not come in scrolls.
It's paper.
She looks at it. She doesn't touch it because she's not going to. Rosie doesn't want to risk destroying this, so her mummy's gonna, keep her hands on her knees, and says, "So, you mean this was beyond your worldly comprehension, and was something out of imagination?"
I mean, I don't think anyone could have perceived a 5-armed lizard monster man to just behead the Statue of Liberty.
The statue could not protect you?
It was. What?
If it was beheaded, it was clearly standing in your defense. Did Liberty not defend you?
No.
This is sad. I believe I have dots in a cult. I have 2 dots in a cult. Does the described monster sound like anything to me?
It could be a chimera. It could be any number of things. But for one to destroy the world?
Do you know how many there are?
We don't know a lot. There's a guy that we trade with sometimes for supplies. Like down the way a bit. He might know. He sounds very, when he talks he uses a lot of big words. And talks about like paradigms and other weird things and politics. I don't know. Whenever we talk to him, it feels like he's trying to use us. He's already scoped us out to see what value we can give to him.
Mm.
But he's got a lot of bullets.
This is currency?
Kind of. They're. How old are you?
I don't know.
Do you know what electricity is?
No.
I saw a hero demonstrate that once in Alexandria. He rubbed amber with wool, and it made lightning.
And they kind of just look at each other, and they're like, "What?" Um. So his name is Mr. We call him the Professor. He has a lot of old books and stuff. Anyway, bullets are like arrows for this thing. And the one holds up their gun. Do you have any food? We ran out as they point at the smashed open vending machine. In this, you're in an office break room,
Yeah.
basically.
Rosie doesn't think there would have been any foodstuffs with them.
Canopic jar jerky.
Ew.
I mean, someone might, but
Hera looks at them and says, "I'm sorry, we do not have food."
And then you hear a rumbling. You feel and hear a rumbling. Gets closer and closer. And they start to freak out. Something's coming, something's coming. Oh god, they found us, they found us.
And she rises.
As does Kaivos.
And coming, if you look out in the hallway, coming down the way, there's a very large hippopotamus. It's got golden caps on its teeth. It's adorned with fine jewelry. And it says to you, Kaivo, "There you are, master. I have been searching for you since I have awoken."
I walk over to it and rub it gently on its snout.
It wiggles its ears.
Pat it right between the eyes. Despite not remembering anything whatsoever, I seem to know this is an old friend.
Mm-hmm. It's just good to see you again. Do you remember me?
Part of me seems to.
Even though we are linked together, we are not always linked in time. It is no worry if you do not recall my name. Do you want to make up a name for him?
I need a good hippo name.
I was going to say Bessie.
Boo! That's a terrible hippo name.
They're essentially cows. Just kill our water.
I was going to suggest Griffin, but... Why are names always so hard?
Names are hard. Names are very, very difficult. And I'm trying to think of a good hippo name, like, from antiquity.
Chat, if you have any name suggestions, let us know.
Let's let Chad have that one. Let's not get
Yeah, let's and the people are like, is that a hippo?
Also, hippo McHippo face is not an answer.
I mean, it is an answer. It's just not one we'll accept.
Well, until we have a name.
Is that a fucking hippo?
The hippo is not fucking anything, but yes.
Oh my god, we're gonna fucking die.
No, we will save you. They're so dead. So next she sort of taps her temple at the same place where they have their databases.
Okay.
And asks about that.
Oh, these are our Infininet life assistants. Well, so we had to smash the rest of like our tablets and things because they say one of them can track people from like the signals they give off. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but these things are little self-contained repositories of information, little libraries that also tell us, that also translate for us. We have a couple here. When Amir and Shelly died, and they pull two out of a drawer that's next to a bunch of like non-dairy creamer packets. Uh,
Hero will take one and pop it into her temple.
there's a slight pinch as something goes in, and you hear, "Hello, welcome to your Infininet personal life secretary. What would you like to call me?" It seems like you're distracted. What's your name?
Hira.
Hi, Hira. Ah, from my database, it seems that your name, your origin is not found. That's a wonderful place. I love it there. Anyway, you can call me friend, or I really should have had a name for this ahead of time. I'm really bad at names. Uh, Now I'm stuck on Shelly. You can call me Courtney. What can I help you with today?
Tell me the history of this world.
Okay. Billions of years ago, and it just goes into the accepted scientific history of the planet Earth, from Pangea, life crawling out of the sea. Irem is not mentioned. How long do you let it go on for before you stop it?
She lets it get to the continents breaking, and then
How many minutes do you let it
how
go
many
on?
minutes? Probably 2, and then she says, "Forgive me, Courtney."
It is still waiting for the Earth to finish cooling down from being spun off after the Big Bang.
Courtney, tell me of the recent history of this world.
Sure. Is there a specific region you'd like to know about? Politics, sports, and there's a little like crack of a baseball bat and a cheering of people. Entertainment. It's like,
News?
news. Dun 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 dun. A little jingle plays. Shout out to Philadelphians. That was my attempt at the action news jingle. Checking for updates. Last files found 3 years ago. Is a government warning. Seek shelter now. Seek shelter now. Martial law will be in effect until our military fails us. May God have mercy on our souls for what we've done. That is the latest news for your local area.
What is the news 2 days prior to that?
Mysterious beings sighted all over world, converging.
Converging where?
Everywhere. And it brings up a number of like different pictures of these strange humanoid creatures. Some look like regular people. Some have 2 heads. They all are a humanoid shape, mostly. You get your occasional giant with stuff sprouting from it. But that one is shooting lasers out of its eyes, burning what a man appears to be made of liquid metal, or a humanoid made of liquid metal, like evaporating it in the streets of what is called Paris. And there's this big metal like structure bent over in the background that is tagged as Eiffel Tower. There are corpses everywhere. There's a clip of a what appears to be a normal fellow, shirtless, but seems to be wearing something similar to a loincloth, um, taking people, moving them like they're putty into various shapes, and sticking it on to I'm trying to use a bunch of words, like a man in a flight suit. You know, like a pilot.
Yeah. Oh.
Scenes like this are repeated all over. Somebody basically, it's like Thanos snapped into pieces, or snaps like Thanos, and everyone around just dissolves into pieces of meat, except this other entity, which appears to be the lizard man mentioned before. There are cyborgs. There are beings of energy. There's something akin to a dryad overtaking the cities with plant life and like absorbing people into trees and other things. And then clip of that like from like the next day, a whole bunch of corpses with like flowers and plants sprouting through them.
Hero says, "Thank you, Courtney."
It is my pleasure to be of assistance to you. Would you mind going on the App Store and giving us a 5-star rating?
I will do that later.
Okay.
And she turns to Kaibos.
Kaibos says, "How was the conversation with the demon?"
Oh, they also have one for you.
Yes, but I don't speak English.
It has a translating software.
Fair enough.
So can we assume that Kaibos has received similar, if not the same information? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So, would these have been would any of these creatures have been things I'd have recognized?
You have. So, since you have power of Re as an utterance, you sense like the laser vision one. This seems like a gift stolen from the judges. Looking at them, you can tell these are not arisen. These are not mummies. Mummies do not have appearances like this. And they would not battle each other on such scales all at once.
These things are blasphemy. They use the power of the judges and yet are not of the judges.
Wait, one of them says, "Wait, is the judge here?" That one's terrifying.
No, but the judge will be here.
The judge is coming? There's panic among the people here.
Be still and relax. Whatever monster you call the judge is not.
The judge brings up a picture from one of those fight scenes. The location tagged is Santa Fe, New Mexico. There is a man in what seems to be like a gleaming armor with a giant warhammer, and his head appears to be made out of fire. Not ensconced in fire, made out of fire.
As far as I am aware,
you see him picking up a car and hurling it.
This torch-headed man is not here, as far as I'm aware.
He's gonna burn up our sins.
She turns and looks at Kaibos and says, "Perhaps we should go speak to this professor." or simply go outside and see what we can find.
I agreed.
I agree as well.
Who said that?
The hippo.
Oh,
I've decided the hippo is named Memtos.
I like that.
that's excellent. And she turns to the group of people, and I wish I had some kind of blessing I could bestow upon them, but I don't. Um, so she simply says, I'm sorry that there is nothing I can do for you in any immediate sense, but know that someone has heard your pleas and that we have come to fight for you.
I don't even know how they'll react at this point.
Mute nodding.
They seem to like be packing things up in a hurry.
Did they actually explain where we could find the professor?
Yeah, they gave you
that
directions.
trade with him.
They gave you directions, like down the street. Watch out for his traps. They tell you what his place looks like. It's like 3 stories up. This like they call it an apartment building. They say, tell him Amir's friend sent you.
Then I suppose off we go.
It's a nightmare out there. I don't know why the hippo is suddenly goofy. It's a nightmare out there.
Tell me, friend.
This city, although I have been out for a couple days. I woke up slightly different area, and I've been looking for you ever since. They call this place Portland, and it was the site of a battle between some of these things. A being made of living metal and one made of crystalline. Be careful not to touch the crystals while you are outside. I do not know what they'll do to you, but I have seen a number of people frozen in them, ripped apart by them. All the locals are avoiding them. There is no rule of law, only the rule of strength.
Then we are kings.
So I assume that it's fairly orderly to get to this apartment complex, but I heard something about traps.
Yes. I don't know anything about that. I don't know how many of the buildings around here can support my weight. It shakes.
That was actually speaking to the storyteller.
Oh, okay. Yes. There are indeed. It doesn't take long to get there. You go through. I'm just gonna there's like streets. The streets are. Have you ever seen Escape from New York?
Yes.
I haven't, but I've got a reasonable mental picture.
Yeah, like there's like burned out cars everywhere. Like a riot, it seems, has been happening here. Looting, scavenging, corpses in the street. These crystals are not only just growing on things, and any number of they're mostly translucent, any number of colors. But like some of the buildings seem to actually be supported by these crystals. Like maybe not supported, but like their structure has been subsumed by crystals, and not just because it's growing over, but maybe even replacing the material in it, like converting it into itself. But they seem to be halting at like the natural boundaries of the individual structures or objects. Like if there is like a car that has it like its hood and like the front panels and the tires maybe be transforming into crystal, but the road underneath is not. There's blast marks everywhere. Give me a composure and wits roll. That's our perception roll here in our Chronicles of Darkness game. Oh, also, can you both roll your Sechem rating of 10 and tell me if you get any successes at all? We're making what's called a descent roll.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got successes, yes.
Okay, so your Sechem goes down to 9. You feel the flesh in your body, like, I don't want to say congeal, but start to come back. Like the fatty tissue comes, like your arms a bit more. You look less dehydrated. Your arms don't creak nearly as much. But you do feel the clock ticking. This is a descent roll. It's a normal part of Mummy. This is representing your time running out. You're still hyper powerful though at 9
Yeah.
Sechem.
I also rolled a success, so
Yep.
same thing. And you wanted wits composure.
Sure.
Two successes.
Cool.
And none.
You see a broken up, but you can tell what it is. First, you think it's a pile of rubble, a metal human skeleton. It seems to be holding one of those guns that the people showed you before. It's broken, but it seems to be holding one.
Can I take the gun?
Yes.
Kira,
Oh, and Kaibo, you now you hear the whisperings of the judges in your ear. You now know English.
Well, that's convenient.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah. Hira apparently has at some point woken up in a time and place where there were firearms because I have a dot in firearms.
Or the judges decided to give it to you.
This is very true. The
Well,
judges there.
You can tell from some part of your spirit that this one's broken.
I have 3 dots in craft and metallurgy. Can I fix it?
Do you have any like magic power that will let you do that?
Not that I'm aware of.
You'll need like a machine shop and other stuff to fix this.
She'll. I was going to say tuck it in a pocket, but I don't think they're wearing much right now. So she'll just kind of hold it for now,
Okay.
in case we come
Yes.
across.
You're standing
anything.
over this perfect sculpture of a metal human skeleton.
What can I get from that?
Do you if you want to give me a medicine and wits roll, anyone? Or if you have a power to interact. Actually, I think Kaibo has interesting affinities that may apply right now.
If not, my wits and medicine is a 5-die pool.
You've more than me. You should make that roll. Maybe we can both make it. I'm sure about it.
Add your shut rating to that roll, please.
Okay, so that's another 5.
Mm-hmm.
And where's that coming from, just so that I know?
I'm going to apply your death sight to it in a different kind of way.
1, 2, 3, 4, and a 10.
That 5 successes is exceptional success. Congratulations, you're about to get all the fucking information here. So this was not a sculpture. or if it was a sculpture, it's the greatest sculpture ever made by anyone. Um, you can see like the subtle markings on like the bones to indicate growth marks where broken bones have been healed, where surgeries have been done, and there's this part of it. There's this glimmer of a soul lingering around this skeleton that makes you feel that this wasn't hewn from metal. This wasn't crafted. This was transformed and forced to walk in at the orders of another. This was a person at one point.
So that just makes me want to turn around and ask if maybe wits and occult would be in order to understand the nature of how that was done.
Um, I can just tell you because you got that exceptional success. Um, there's a small marking in its rib cage. Um, most people wouldn't have spotted it, but you're you. You're exceptional. You're beyond exceptional. It appears like something penetrated it here based on the marking of the there's like a dent in one of the thicker parts of the ribs, and if you were to like take a piece of scrap metal that you find somewhere, you could dig it out. It's this small little, now mostly broken up, looks almost like an ant maybe, or a spider, that seems to have burrowed in and pierced this person's bone, which you feel could be the catalyst for this transformation. But it's made of metal itself and other materials you don't quite know. That luckily your helpful device identifies as plastics.
It's an excellent industry. It's most unusual. This is the work of some sort of pestilence. We haven't seen this before, but then I suppose we have not seen many of the things that happened in the previous 2 days before.
The hippo pipes up. There's a number of these scattered around the city. No one's willing to talk to me, but a lot of them seem to be fallen in like battle stances as if they were warriors.
Let us continue.
You have arrived outside the apartment building. It is mostly rundown, very quiet, maybe 6 stories high, made of brick.
We go in, we go up.
We were warned about traps.
Mm-hmm. Let me take a quick gander here. There could be an utterance that would help you here.
Or my guild affinity is called Divine Flesh.
Okay.
I can spend a willpower to manifest a metallic sheen that grants me an additional 2 armor and further protects against electricity.
That's probably cheaper armor than the one I come by.
Yeah, you could do that. Or you can also make investigation and wits rolls, going through to look for traps.
All right, I'll spend a willpower and do that.
What kind of metallic sheen do you take on? What
It
what
is
color are you now, Colossus?
uh it is the color of uh metal fresh from the forge, so a sort of glowing hot red.
Okay. You burn bright with the authority of the judges.
Always.
Going
Before
up,
we proceed, I turn to Mamtos the hippo and simply give it another pet on the face and say, I'm never far away.
I know. Now that you are awakened, I can find you more easily. And he goes over to uh, there's like a fire hydrant just spraying water in the street. He just goes and lays in it. Still alert, but he's being comfortable. All right, so going up the
Hello.
stairs,
Yeah.
you how did you roll investigation and what's yet?
Oh, not yet. Zero successes.
Cool.
Yay.
A number of Home Alone style traps hit you, like swinging paint cans. Um, these get more lethal as you go up. They are mostly just pinging off your body. Um, you notice that these are easily meant to be reset. They don't they don't use like fire. They don't make a lot of noise. At one point, you do slip on like greased stairs. It doesn't hurt you, again because your armor. There you find a pit trap that you break the spikes in as you fall into it because you are Colossus. Mommy is fucking jokes. Um, and the last one, this little looks like a gun. You step on a wire and it fires out these two little roped prongs at you, and you just feel electricity going through you.
Oh, this protects against electricity.
Yes, you just got tasered.
Quaint.
I actually look at it and I say, clearly, Hero's demonstration has been put to new uses.
And from the other side of the door, I'll say that again. Who sent you? What are you? You're not one of them, otherwise you would have just blown up the building from the outside.
We are friends of Ari.
Amir.
Amir, sorry.
Yes, but what are you?
We are the will of the judges.
What language are you saying that in?
Aramis. Want to see how smart this guy actually is.
You hear the door locks undo. And you're face to face with an older, salt and pepper, academic type, wearing one of those black, tactical sweaters with the little pads on the shoulder. If you've played, I don't know if you've ever played XCOM, but like Bradford sweater controls, I love them. I don't know what they're called. And he, much like you expect, is looking you two up and down, and he says, "My lords, you've returned to us."
Were you our summoner?
Come in. Please make yourselves comfortable. My name is Michael Sullivan. I was a professor of archaeology at the University of Washington. And, well, in the last few days, most I've been working on this lost civilization that predates Egypt. That there is almost nothing for it. It's as if it's being erased from time. Anyway, I found this. I found something. It seemed to have been a prayer. And I'm not one for praying, mostly. Can I get you anything? He's speaking in English. To borrow a quote from, I'll get to that later. He's speaking in English. Um, anyway, I pray. I did this prayer. I'm not one for prayer normally. Um, and I asked these judges, I think they're called. You called them, um, for deliverance from this world. We're out of options here. Dukes hit these things, and nothing happened to them. In the best case, nothing happened. In the worst cases, well, I don't want to talk about England.
All right. What do you go on?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh,
He gets out like wine and water, and he's getting like coffee made. He does not seem to be affected by Cybaris at this point.
well, he was expecting us.
Kind of.
So, Hira says, "What can you tell us of these beings?" And she taps the thing in her head and says, "Courtney can only tell me so much."
What language is this in?
English?
Okay. He looks a little disappointed at your English. So there are two in town. They're taking a break right now. But there's one made of crystal. I believe he is from Saudi Arabia. I think the Wahhabists made him. And then there's one from Silicon Valley, of all places, that does. I think they call him a technopath. I think that's what they call him, technopath. Or he might have adapted their name of Meta. He brings technology together and does stuff with machines or something. I don't know. The files out of Langley cut short when that got hit by somebody else.
What is Langley?
Okay, so Langley is in Virginia. Okay, so Virginia
What
is
is
on the East
Virginia?
Coast. Okay, so
What?
so he hold on. He goes into a room, comes back with a big map, and just lays it out on the table. So this is the world. You notice, you know the extent. You see like where the world is a little bit different than you thought. You kind of see the outlines of where Irem was. You know, the cradle of life. You know, like Mesopotamia, Africa. You know, we're here, and he points to basically the opposite side of the world than you were expecting. Langley is here, Virginia, and he starts to go into like the discovery of America. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's where our spies were. Brings up like a thing, like puts up like a screen panel kind of thing, like a digital image that Courtney is showing you. This is a satellite view of Virginia from a day ago. It's the ocean. Yeah, the someone pushed it into the sea. And by that I mean they pushed down. They put it way below sea level. And drowned everyone. So, is there anything I can do for you, or what are your names?
I'm Hira of the Messenubu Guild. I serve the judge Nehebka, and she does say this in Iramese, having seen his disappointment at her English.
And politely responding in kind, I am Kaibos of the guild Shesha Hebsu.
He responds in passable Iramese. Welcome, Great Arisen. Sorry, I just needed to know the vowels. And with that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 5-10 minutes or so. So, do whatever. I don't know. I'm not a cop. See you soon. back. Welcome back to the post-apocalypse of Portland, where godlike beings have destroyed the earth, and our mummies have woken up to a man that and have found a man that speaks Iranese, and that summoned them, and didn't think they were real until they showed up at his door. They're now in his apartment, or an apartment he seems to have taken over. He just explained that Virginia was drowned.
The state, not a person.
Mm-hmm. And he's offering them drinks and snacks.
Indeed, Kaibos at this point is mostly just pawing with a cup of coffee, smelling it, and remarking how it delightfully reminds him of the people who would boil down pitch to make tar. It's been so long.
God damn it. It's certainly strong.
It's refreshing.
Can I
So
offer you
you're-
a snack? He seems to be holding a blue and orange bag that says Cheetos on it.
She'll
Mhm.
take one.
Yeah, reach in and pluck it out, noticing the orange dust that like forms on the fingertips. So your cities have been submerged in the ocean. You have a crystal man from the desert people. You have some sort of alchemist from California.
Yeah, that about tracks it. And here, he brings up more of those, like, screens, those digital screens, like, on what was a wall. And you see at the top, like, Central Intelligence Agency, eyes only. Like, their names, information about them, pictures, pictures of regular people, like, are also, like, individuals are also in there.
Who are these?
These are the two that are in the city right now. The Chris.
No. And she points at like the people that look normal.
That is what. Okay, that is what Technopath used to look like before they tried to turn him into an AI.
Who is they?
His creators, this company called Metaverse. Or Meta. Really, there's a whole bunch of these Silicon Valley geeks with more money and sense than the desire for power. And he starts going to this geopolitical landscape kind of thing that's a lot of names you don't know.
Well, the names are ultimately unimportant, but is the gist that it's a bunch of companies that messed with things they shouldn't have, or was it just this company called Metaverse?
Well, Metaverse was the only company that did this. The others were governments.
Okay.
So, you know, when, like, so there's a thing called nuclear weapons. They're a big... Do you know what a bomb is?
Yes.
So, imagine one that could destroy a city. When those were unleashed, everyone decided they needed one to keep themselves safe from their enemies. When the first one of these came out, it cuts to, like, actually the judge, the head made of fire. Every country kickstarted their own shake and bake God generator. The the Wahhabists over in Saudi Arabia decided to create this crystalline being, whose name I've already forgotten. I know I gave it a name. Anyway, they plugged it full of all their learnings and information on their religion and their tenets of Wahhabism, their fundamentalist take on Islam. When it was during its field testing, it found them all wanting and in violation of the laws that they programmed into it. So we're fucked for oil now, as Saudi Arabia is now just a giant crystal. And then
How many more of these false judges are there?
Left?
Yes, let's start with that.
4 that I know of. And he starts bringing up all these like files on the wall, and a bunch of them have like big red X's through them. So they all started. The government started sending them after this one here in Indonesia, and well, a lot of them took each other out. The Russians and the Germans took each other out, and also the French one. So all that's left is this one, the Technopath. I'm going to call this one Amethyst now. That's what we decided to call it. And the one from South Africa, which is a giant lizard monster.
So, Rosie's making a list. Technopath, Amethyst, Lizard Monster. You said there was a 4th?
Oh, brings up the one that was like snapping its fingers and just dissolving people into piles of meat. I had a name. I actually had a name for this one. And now all I can think of is Matter Eater Lad. That which is not its name. Fuck. This one actually, this one is an amalgamation of our, of every astronaut that was on the International Space Station, when it was hit by that solar flare. It doesn't really have loyalty to a country or anything. It wants to clean the earth and restore it by any means necessary. That one's currently in Beijing. Air quality's really cleaned up, though.
Okay.
Is the means to make more of these still available?
I don't know. And anyone that did know is definitely dead.
So no.
Other than those 4. They might know the secret. But no, I think the gods that humanity tried to create were not gods we wanted.
They will be judged. And their righteousness will find them wanting.
Cool. So, like, what's the plan?
Well, Rosie was initially thought that I'm Rosie. Hi. I had initially thought that there would be some sort of like MacGuffin that we could go destroy. Doesn't sound that way. Um, so I guess we can start beating the piss out of the two that are here. Um, and go from there.
Okay. So he brings up a map of Portland. So this is out of date. The satellites are gone. My connection.
What is a satellite? Interlude while he explains that.
And he starts doing a satellite. Explain what a satellite is. There's no way you could like read my mind or anything. Just get that from me.
This is not one of my gifts.
They call me professor, but I'm not actually a professor. I just told them that. You see, so, in order to protect this country, we didn't just look at guns and bombs and things. We also looked into the secrets of the past. And that was kind of my job. So, yeah. Anyway, the Technopath has pulled together all sorts of machines. It can control machinery around it and it creates these tiny little machines that convert people into metal to act as soldiers for it.
Ah, yes, we saw that.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare watching someone's flesh melt off to reveal the metal skeleton underneath. Got a Terminator or something. Terminator's a film, which is like a play. Okay. Anyway, it's created this like citadel for itself. In this strange part of town, which now my colleagues before they went dark couldn't figure out why, and they kind of laughed at my suggestion. But here, and he like touches his wrist, or like a wrist pad kind of thing. I don't know, or a mental command. I don't know. And I was gonna say click the remote, but they have future computers, so. And this series of lines, like converge, or these two lines seem to converge at where he's pointing the citadel out as. Do you know what a ley line is?
I feel like as an alchemist, Hero would probably have some kind of understanding of that.
What do you have in occult?
2?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You know that's where magical forces and Sekhem flow and convert flows. Oh, great! I don't have to explain that one. He says. So he seems to have built his citadel, or it seems to have built its citadel, at the intersection of two of them in the city here. And that is where Amethyst came to fight it. They kind of fought to a standstill with Technopath holding it. But I don't know why a machine person entity would... I don't think this is a coincidence. And I'm still trying to go through my files and things here. He gestures to like a room full of like ancient books, some of which are definitely bound in human skin. scrolls, tablets. Like the last day or so, man, my timelines are all messed up because those guys trade with him already. This is, let's say it's been 2 weeks instead of 2 days. That works better. I've been trying to figure out these other sites over the world, and from where the one in Beijing was, the astronaut one. Here's another. It started another convergence of ley lines. They seem to be focusing on them. Spot in Indonesia, the spot in Lithuania where the Russian and German ones fought. I just see it again and again.
This is a good place to start then. This intersection of ley lines.
This technopath, is there anything that draws his attention?
Getting his ass kicked, I'd say, or its ass kicked. Sorry, let me just hide that picture of what he used to look like, and he like puts a cover up over the picture of Mark Zuckerberg. He didn't really look that human before.
Then Hira will say, thank you for your service. Your summoning us may be the best chance humanity has. We will do what we will. She doesn't say we, like, she just says we will destroy these last 4, and we will ask you to spread word of the judges and that we, their emissaries, are the saviors of humanity and bring back the religion of Arem and the remembrance of the judges.
I mean, I'm absolutely telling everyone that magic is real now. For sure.
Thank you.
Your deeds and your hospitality will be recorded.
Cool.
And if we're leaving, I'm also grabbing a giant handful of those Cheetos, saying they're for a friend.
Yo, your friend didn't want to come in?
He was unsure the floor would support his weight.
There's a third one of you? There's another Arisen?
Come watch from your balcony, friend.
Okay. So, sitting out, he removes a lot of the barricade on the balcony.
And from the parking lot, I bring Momtos over, leading him with a handful of Cheetos into view, and then just sort of like toss them up in the air. And his gaping maw snaps around the entire Cheeto cloud in one bite.
These are scrumptious. Thank you. He's here. Is that a fucking hippo?
It is a hippo, though it is not fucking.
Where did it get jewelry from? Never mind. You know what? Never mind. I don't care anymore. That's the jewelry's not the important part. Oh my god, why couldn't this have you guys have shown up a month ago? There were like 12 people. I would have rubbed this in their faces for. Now they're dead.
I'm looking at my sheet and I'm trying to figure out if there's any way I can help him fortify his defenses, but I can't think of anything clever. And really, I should hold on to my killer dots to go kick this thing's butt.
Okay. I mean, the best thing you can do at this point is kill these false
Things.
gods.
Yeah. We'll bring them to their knees and shatter them.
All right. Going downtown, the scenes of carnage are getting worse. You know, as you get towards the epicenter of their battle, people are. You see people who seem to be. Well, I want to say like Mr. Freeze. It's like Mr. Freeze came through and froze people, but they're trapped in crystal. Some are faces they're trapped in the crystal, and you can just see half their face. The flesh is gone, and there's metal underneath, as if they got hit by both at the same time. How are you going about traveling?
I don't know. We have
Are
a
you
hippo with
proudly
us.
marching through? Are you trying to be stealthy? Or as the character sheets we have say, stealthy? Because they forgot the T.
Oh, so they did.
Mm-hmm.
I am proud, as always, in my service to the judges. I have nothing to hide.
I think
Occasionally.
stealth is out the window when you've got a hippo with you anyway.
So occasionally
hippo with
you
its
see
mask.
like a couple blinds or like curtains moving. Like you can tell like there are people still here hiding. Occasionally you get like someone like hide and then come back out and mouth, is that a hippo? At some point you get not quite. You're about half a mile out from the citadel when you hear a set of maybe 5 heavy footsteps, shrieking, like scraping, like metal against stone or pavement in this case. Marching in perfect time.
So, tell me about the local terrain we have.
So you are coming up on the edge of a park, or what used to be a park. Large, like crystal spires, basically massive crystal spears, penetrated the earth here. Cars are overturned. There is a corner bodega. The remains of not a Starbucks, but a local coffee shop. You see a place where a couple of police officers tried to make a stand against robot men. They're part of the social network.
So based on the fact that I just want to walk you through here as my process. Based on the fact that the technopath is interested in these ley lines, it's using the Sikhem as some kind of energy source. She is assuming that that's somehow how it's creating this army through an infection. If I were to use Rebuke the Vizier at tier 3.
Wait, is this the bullshit power that I hate?
where I unknit shit. Yeah.
What page is this on?
I don't know. I just copied the entire text.
All right. All right, let me read aloud from the book. Rebuke the Vizier. Tier 3, you said.
Tier 3.
The mummy forbids a perceived target from using a power that she has witnessed them use. The target resists the mummy's blah blah blah. If the victim fails for the remainder of the chapter, any activation of the chosen ability provokes a clash. So you just stop them from using a power?
Oh no, I wanted to like unknit them, or is that another?
You mean tier 2?
Is tier 2 where I like rip shit apart?
With this tier, the mummy's
Stopping
gaze
out.
instantly detects all enchantments currently affecting a target she perceives. With the mere passing of her gaze, the mummy may tear asunder one of those enchantments. The unleashing cannot remove fundamental abilities, such as a mage's ability to cast spells or the power animating a vampire, but may cancel a mage's protective wards or a vampire's heightened strength. What is your ba?
My bar rating is 4.
Okay. You can maintain this gaze for a number of turns equal to your ba, targeting each turn if you choose. God damn.
So, based on
You're basically just erasing magic effects. But I would say, because it talks about the magic animating a vampire, this would not, like, stop the Terminators from walking around.
So I couldn't just like look at them and make them fall apart.
No.
How'd I ask?
No, I've learned since the Chimera. In which case you literally unknit it.
Yeah, well, because I was made of a bunch of things. Okay, so
you would be able to stop basically the nanomachines from infecting more people.
Well, my next one, pestilent whispers. So I already know that they're susceptible to plague because that's how they got to be what they are. Can I give them a new plague?
I open to it. Well, what tier would you use it at, 2?
I'm looking.
The mummy bestows a horrific plague upon a victim she can see. Three, you turn into a ghost. What? Oh, and when you're a ghost, if you pass through a person's body, you give them a plague.
Yeah, I was considering tier 3, and can I just sweep through the mass of these soldiers and just give them all plague?
Yes, but I'm going to ask the two of you to make me another descent roll. So just roll your current Sechem and tell me if you get a success.
Yes.
All right, your Sechem drops to 8.
And also yes.
Same thing. Honestly, you're still walking gods.
Yep.
On page 160, there is a chart. Sechem 8. Your trait maximum is now 8. You can spend 4 pillar points per turn. You can still use tier 3 utterances. And you, whenever you spend a pillar point to boost an attribute, it boosts by 4 dots and not 5. Yeah, you're a walking god. Okay, Rose. So it's tier 3, so you have to spend 2 pillar points, one of which has to be the one listed for the tier 3 level.
Which is shit. So I will spend a point of shit. Making a note for myself. And then I will sort of turn into a. I don't explain anything about what I'm doing to anyone. I just sort of turn into a sort of ghostly, pulsating shadow and sweep forward into the Technopath soldiers.
So they level their guns at you and begin firing. But you are a ghost.
Yeah.
They were
I
not
am the
prepared to
shadow of
fight
their
a ghost.
Yeah.
The high rate of fire from their rifles would tear any man to pieces, much like a hit mark would. So you pass into them, and I keep closing the book when I really shouldn't. Because I need to look up what the roll here is.
Stamina plus shoot plus Sakem versus stamina Sakem.
Okay, so I'm rolling stamina, you're rolling...
A lot.
Yep.
Do you want me to roll?
You need to roll. You could pull a Rachel, roll 14 dice, and get no successes.
I mean, that's true.
Remember, you can spend a point of willpower before you roll to roll 3 more dice.
Yeah. I will do that. I thought it was 4 more dice.
3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the 3 for that. And then my stamina. What was the other one? My shoot.
Are you rolling 16 dice?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
So close.
What was that?
I said so close.
So that 10 explodes.
Oh yeah, that 10 explodes.
Oh, and that 10 explodes. And that 10 explodes. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
So tell me about this disease you're trying to infect them with. Do you have any dots in computers?
No.
Okay.
But
tell me about
like I said, I do have a specialty in metallurgy.
Okay.
So I'm going to inflict boils upon them, but take it a little more literally, so that it's not simply just pus filled. It's heated. It's like when you take a torch and fire to metal and corrupt it so it bends and breaks and snaps and becomes brittle.
Okay.
I'm essentially giving them an intense fever very quickly, to the point where they burn from the inside.
Okay, well, they're going to straight up take 5 shoot damage, because your shoot is 5, right?
My shoot is 2.
Then you couldn't have used Pestilent Whispers at tier 3.
No.
Because you need 5 dots in it in order to do that.
I missed that. But it's so cool.
You could do tier 2 where you could give it to one of them.
No. Can I shuffle my ob points over?
No.
Can I spend a willpower?
How much willpower do you have?
4.
Spend 2.
Fine.
And that's the one time you get to use the tier 3 of it.
I can live with that.
So they take 5 shoot damage as all of their... I was going to say skin. But they don't have skin.
Surface area?
As the surface of their metal structure begins to corrode, corrupt, the ribs start breaking, the fingers start to break. But they are still standing and walking. Kaibo.
So they are standing and walking. Are they otherwise functional?
They were shooting their guns at...
Well, they were before they were infected. That's what I'm inquiring about their state now.
They're a bit slower, damaged. Are you familiar with Necrons from 40k?
No.
Well, they're basically they're operating still at normal capacity until I look up what the sick tilt is. Actually, no, that's on page... Okay. They take Rosie's shoot damage every scene. 368. Ooh, okay. 368 is where it is. Outside of action scenes, they have penalties. Okay. A sickness is either moderate or grave. This is grave because Rosie got an exceptional success. A moderate sickness causes a -1 penalty to all actions during combat. That penalty increases by 1 every 2 turns. A grave sickness inflicts the same dice penalties as a mild sickness plus 1 point of bashing per turn. But the exceptional success means it's lethal damage per turn. So they are a bit slowed down, like their joints are corroding.
Well, if they were having difficulty training their weapons, then a hippo charge would be in order. But it sounds like they're still functional in that way.
They are technically functional, but your hippo is extremely durable.
My hippo has a fan club that doesn't want to see it get a scratch. So why don't I have some fun for myself then? I believe I could call on Dust Beneath Feet tier 2 and encase myself in stone armor and go probably charging amongst them myself.
You could absolutely do that. Spend any pillar point and it's good to go.
Okay. Any pillar point at all.
Yep, because it's a tier 2.
Gotcha.
You could also spend another pillar point to increase your strength by 4.
That would be an interesting thing to do as well. And I will note that I also have a power rating of 3 or higher, which apparently stacks a little more onto that effect.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Yeah, you would become, let's see, your strength would increase by 1. So overall, your strength would increase by 5 if you spent that second pillar point. Um, you get 4 armor,
So it actually
and your
says
size
that,
increases by your ka.
yeah. Well, so it says right here with a Ka pillar rating of 3 or higher, the original adds Ka to size and to strength. So it goes up by
Then you
strength goes
definitely
up
don't need to spend that second.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
And
So
you said there are normal people watching too.
there are glances out windows and things,
Show them the might of their god.
but some people are probably watching from with the gunfire, and because there's a giant fucking hippo.
indeed, there is that as well. All right. So I have spent the pillar point. There does not appear to be a roll on this.
No, there's not.
So my size has gone up by 3. I don't know how armor works in this, but I have some great amount of armor.
You have an amazing amount of armor.
My strength has gone up by 3 as well. So, I guess what this looks like is loose chunks of asphalt just flying out of nowhere and adhering to me. The occasional piece of concrete with rebar sticking out of it until I am walking in that classic "what now" pose that big bad, heavily armored villains love to do.
Would you like to pick up like a telephone pole or knocked over street light?
A car? Can they pick up a car?
So is a strength of 5? What does a strength of 5 let me lift?
Okay, only 5.
Yeah.
I thought your strength was like 7. Human maximum. You could rip a car door off, no problem. You could pick up a mailbox and beat people with it.
I think a car door sounds about right, because I'm going in just with a straight up sort of cleaning house sweep. And actually, why not? Let's have fun with this. I'll blow that other pillar point.
Awesome. Your strength is now 9. Or 8 because of your Sechem maximum.
Yep.
Since you're spending that pillar point, would you like it to also apply to your hippo?
Oh yes, I
for
can do
free.
That is true. That is a thing I am allowed to do for free. So yes, not only am I now, a walking building wielding a nearby crosswalk pillar, but in fact I have behind me a Green Hulk equivalent of a hippo.
With cool little gold caps on the teeth. Excellent dental work has been done. Fun fact: the hippo can also spend pillar points.
That is
to use utterances.
That is also true.
We're not going to do that right now because we don't need to. We're going to save that for later, right?
This is yes. So I mean I don't know how they're. I don't know what 4 points of armor is worth against a hail of machine gun fire. But I was intending to and take the brunt of that as I walk up and absolutely swing for the fences across the entire group of them.
Give me a weaponry, and are you two-handing it or one-handing it? If you two-hand it, you get to roll strength and weaponry.
Well, that's kind of where I was headed with that. I mean,
All
I
right.
wasn't exactly splitting actions.
Go for it. So that's 8 plus weapon.
Yeah, so it's a total of 10. Let's see here. That's 1, 2, 3. Dice are stupid. That's 4 successes.
I'm going to count that as an exceptional success.
Okay.
So you do get to hit all of them. Okay. I don't know what kind of damage a telephone pole does. But these guys, their health was very low after getting... Okay. A crowbar does 2 damage. So we're going to just scale that up by a bunch. So 4 successes. I want to add your strength. I'm going to add your strength onto that. I'm not going to roll any dice for these guys because unless they explode those 10s a lot, they're dead. Mummies are fucking jokes.
Clearly.
And any that survive, so you swing, and you scatter them. Many are smashed on impact. Some are just sent back into cars and pieces of crystal to be absorbed like a gelatinous cube would do. And the ones that start to get back up are immediately jumped on by the hippo, who just starts grabbing another in its mouth, ripping it in pieces, throwing it into the bodega, after which it follows to confirm the kill. Or so you think. It comes out with orange dust all over its face. Took care of him, boss.
Like the old days, my friend.
Yes. We do the work of the judges.
The work of the judges is sometimes delicious.
Yes, that is an interesting way of putting it that I absolutely agree with.
So point of order, even after my strength diminishes down at the end of the scene, I'm guessing, the stone armor lasts a full hour.
Yeah! We're only a half mile away from the Citadel. Because I was going to say it was all the same scene anyway.
Oh, if it's all the same scene, I think I'm still a ghost.
Well, we're well positioned then. What is a pestilent ghost and a rock-encased god with a magic hippo to do?
Fight crime. There's people like coming out of like their dude pops up like a manhole cover on top of his head. Like everyone's like, "What the? You can you beat them."
With a convenient object, yes.
So your Cybaris should be in full effect on these people. There is one explanation for why there's not.
I would like to point something out to my GM.
Yes.
Since I spent the 2 willpower, and you said it was as though I had spent with a shoot rating of 5, the end of Tier 3 Pestilent Whispers says, with a shoot pillar rating of 5, the mummy's touch infects any shade they come in contact with, transforming them into vectors for further spreading the plague. The mummy selects the criteria the shades must obey to infect others before unleashing them upon the world, specifying the subjects they may target or the steps one take to avert them. There's a lot of dead people here that died violently.
Yes.
Do I see other shades?
You know you're a ghost until sunrise?
Yeah.
Yes, there are a lot of ghosts here.
Great.
Also, now that the fight is over, um, when the skeletons cease functioning, there's just the slightest bit of Sikhem that is released from them. But there's something weird about it, as if it's synthetic Sikhem. Something that just makes you, something in you just recoil in disgust. A perversion.
So not worth consuming.
I don't know what would happen if you even tried to consume it.
I'm not gonna find that out because I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost that spreads plagues to other ghosts because this is Mummy.
And people.
I mean, if I want to. That's honestly why I picked tier 3 so that it wouldn't just be like, you know, what?
But you didn't look at the spot for the requirement for it.
I've only used it at tier 2 before. Okay.
The version where you look at someone and give them shingles.
Yes.
Chicken pox upon your house.
What did I give someone before? Syphilis?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I think I gave people syphilis. All right. What I want to do is direct the shades near me to. I essentially want to give them directive to infect any of these other technopath soldiers that are around.
Okay.
Because if technopath is controlling the city, there's probably a lot of them. And I can't be everywhere at once.
So, there's no roll. They just automatically obey you.
Correct. As I said, mummies don't roll. We just
So,
walk.
can you tell me what the conditions, the terms of service for working for you are here? Like, what you're telling them specifically? Sorry, I had to double check because that is fucking ridiculous. This game is jokes. Metal soldiers. I heard that part.
Yeah. Help me protect and defend the city and all of humanity. Spread this plague to technopaths soldiers, these infected metallic false gods.
The shades are gonna go, okay.
Do not harm the people.
Okay. and they take off.
Cool.
They basically have 12 hours to do whatever the hell they want.
I just thought of a really great Orpheus mummy thing. Oh god, I'll deal with it later.
Okay. So, who are you? Which country made you? They're saying to the giant rock entity.
The judges of Irem.
Iran?
No. Listen to the tones when I say it. Irem.
Irem. Huh. You know what? Mama always told me never look a gift horse in the mouth. So do you want to be worshipped or like sacrifices made to you? I'll kill Barry over there right now.
Do not kill Barry over there, but we will take your aid in liberating this city from Technopath. Walk
How?
behind me. I will protect you.
You can protect us from a swarm of things that turn us into those?
Do you doubt my might?
I mean, some naysayers like you're a big rock person. I don't know how you can stop the sea. They fall upon us like a tide, infecting as they go.
I have not yet begun. I can shake the earth and tumble buildings.
Okay. But is it still cool if we don't go? You seem to have this
Yes,
pretty well in hand.
There is something else we could use. Thoughts and prayers.
Oh, we're great at that. You sure you don't want us to kill Barry? Hey, come on. I said I was sorry.
Can I say anything while I'm a ghost?
I don't see why not. The rules don't say you can't.
All right, then my shadowy form sort of pulls away from these destroyed soldiers, and I intone, the death of your friend is not necessary. We were summoned for the glory of the judges and to defend and protect you and save this world. Go to your homes. Learn of the judges. Speak with Professor Sullivan and worship those who have come to your aid.
Okay. What are your names?
I am Hira.
I am Kaibos.
Cool. That's going in my fan fiction. Rose, I want you to go to page 350 in the book and check out the disembodied condition, which you have now.
Since you want me to look at that, I'm assuming it's bad.
It's what being a ghost does to you. It's not bad, it's just complicated. And they all turn as a crowd and they start going. Even Barry. Wait, tell them to bring us Cheetos.
My hippo demands Cheetos. Cheetos.
Are they supposed to eat those? You know what? Fuck it. Uh, some of them come back. Like some of them leave for a bit. Uh, come back like 10 minutes later with a shopping cart full of bags. Yeah, people looted the Whole Foods, not the Kmart. And when they did, they left the Cheetos. Let's face it, they're Cheetos.
Okay, so is my body.
You left your body.
I left my body, and all right. My shade looks at my corpse-like remains, and Kaibos, may my vessel of flesh ride upon Mentos.
Indeed, we will have to lash you down to the hippo.
No, I
This
got
is-
it. He just scoops her up in his mouth. I'm real
Be
good at
careful.
this.
Be careful with that, please.
And so I guess we take the half-mile journey.
So you approach what they call the Citadel. It stands over the buildings, but not by much. A gleaming metal structure, um, the the core of which appears to be kind of like the Tyrell Pyramid from Blade Runner, but with a few more antennas and things sticking out of it. Um, it's probably about the size of a city block on its own. Not too extravagant, and not super tall like the Tyrell Corporation's pyramid, ziggurat, what have you. But it is certainly foreboding, and there are a number of dead metal skeletons on the ground, covered in rust, and there's shades just going around giggling, because you both can see them. Because I'm really glad that you have that power. So all the defenses seemed, all the soldiers manning the defense platform seem to be down. Um, unfortunately, the ones stopping the growth of the crystal are also down, and the crystal is beginning to overtake just start feeding on the building itself now.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, the pause implies that's a problem.
I just stopped talking. I didn't pause.
Oh, okay.
So what do we do? As he bleh, puts the body on the ground and starts devouring the shopping cart full of Cheetos that he's been pushing with his along while he's been walking. He's very skilled.
So I want to make sure I've got the scene right. So you're basically saying Technopath's Tyrell Pyramid is also being eaten by a crystal.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this as fully as possible.
Yes. There were like skeleton soldiers like hacking at it like to keep it back, but they suddenly died. As you approach, or are standing there, lights and sirens begin going off inside, and some hatches begin opening up on the sides of it. And slowly, the building starts to change color from a nice, I want to say pale pink. Let's face it, Technopath has got some style. Um, to a gray color. It just seems to be pouring out slowly from these hatches. This gray actually matches the little insect thing you pulled out of that skeleton a while back.
Oh dear. How fast can your pestilence work on those?
I'm still a plague ghost. Can I sweep through the crowd of nanites and give them plague?
The You say crowd, it's more of a never-ending sea.
I gotta start somewhere.
You can. I will ask you for a roll. Um, I'm not rolling many dice here, but
What would you like me to roll?
I would like you to roll whatever it is. How many successes did you get on your roll before?
I
6?
think it was 7.
Okay, so that's an exceptional success. Uh, with 6 a net. You begin destroying some of them, but it is a flood. You passing through basically causes them to stop working, but they are quick. They are going in every direction. Like they're not swarming you; they're just flooding outwards in every direction. As if someone has learned all of his soldiers suddenly died at once. And now needs a new army.
Can I send a new directive to the ghosts?
Let's see.
It doesn't say I
The
can't.
directives may not be changed once given until the utterance has run its course.
Damn.
Do you have any point? I'll allow it for a point of Sikhem.
Done.
You are now at 7 Sikhem.
Oh no.
What is your new criteria?
I describe these nanites?
So they are no longer targeting skeleton soldiers, they are just targeting nanites.
Yes.
So, okay, since you have spent a Sikhem point on that, Rhett, would you like to make any suggestions
I'm sorry, make any suggestions?
to these directives for who should be infected? She is
Can I
just
just tell them to infect Technopath?
yes,
I do that.
just Technopath.
Pardon?
So their new directive is infect Technopath.
Technopath and his creations.
That is a very good set of directives.
What was that?
That is a very good set of directives. I go, okay. And then just like so like it looks like you're facing off from against, you know, the giant bloated form in Akira, but nanomachines for a second. And then the ghosts arrive.
And they avenge themselves.
Basically, and then the pyramid itself starts to rust. And then you feel the little. Oh, you don't feel anything, but no, neither of you do, because one of you is a ghost and the other you is a stone monster person. Never mind. The pyramid falls in on itself, and then begins to buckle and bubble, and a creature about the same size as Kaibo, an amalgamation of not stone and rebar, but circuitry, wire, and metal, all of which is rusting and healing at about equal rates. And you see spirits being consumed by it. It's getting sick, but it also seems to be healing itself and then feeding off the spirits. Remember that synthetic secam I mentioned before?
Yeah.
You feel this is a blight on the life web around you. You are an arisen. What before you appears to be a lifeless. Someone attempted to make their own arisen. It is a travesty upon this world. It is not an arisen, but if it is given time to devour and accumulate Sekhem, it is definitely a threat to the world and maybe even the judges.
Can I tear it asunder with tier 2 Rebuke the Vizier?
What enchantment would you like to tear asunder? Can I have a page number on that, by the way?
Rebuke the Vizier? I just copied the...
It's going to be in the 140s somewhere.
Yeah, I'm almost there. So you detect all enchantments currently affecting a target you perceive. So you see its enchantment to devour ghosts. You see its enchantment to pull itself this golem body. You see its enchantment to like cure the disease.
Let's go with the enchantment to cure the disease.
Okay. I need you to Clash of Wills. So let's look at Clash of Wills. What's your bob, by the way?
4.
So permanent or long-lasting effects are suppressed during this time. What the fuck? Okay. So roll me Sekhem plus double your ba. Because this one straight up says you can double your ba for this.
I'm rolling 15 dice. Ten explodes. That 10 explodes. 5 successes.
So I'm going to take a rule from V5. Active player wins ties. Oh, Rose, I want to look back at that disembodied condition real fast. You must spend a point of willpower to affect the material world with your utterances.
That will put me at 1 willpower. Will being at 1 willpower adversely affect me?
I don't.
Can't you blow a Sakam to restore your willpower?
You can. It would restore all your willpower. But Sekem is very valuable.
Yeah, I'll go down to the 1 willpower to get this done. And if I need to, I'll spend the Sakam later.
Okay. So defender wins ties. You end and suppress the enchantment for ba number of turns.
If I doubled it, it's 8.
I mean, it can't not possibly survive that. But it can still try to fight you off at this point. Kaibo.
So, I will tell you what I would love to do in a perfect world, which is to really just grab this thing and beat it repeatedly against the ground in that Hulk versus Loki puny god scene style. But I notice I have no dots in Brawl, and so I don't know. I also see something that says -1 unskilled, so I'm not entirely sure that's the best route to go.
So, well, right now your strength is 8, right?
Oh, yes, that's right.
So you'd roll 8 dice. Well, -1, you'd roll 7 dice. If you spend a point of willpower, you get 3 more dice.
Why the heck not?
And in this one, in more of my mind, it's Hulkbuster versus the Hulk from Iron Man 3, right? Or whichever Avengers movie that was.
We could go with that metaphor too. Okay, so 7, so I'm up to 10. And let's see here. Take you out. So I've got 1, 2, 3 so far, and the 10s explode. And that's 4.
Okay. I think it's. I don't know. Is it opposed? I don't know. Down and dirty combat. Here we go. Okay. Let's go with strength and athletics as defense here.
I don't know if the whole test of wills also counts as having one's attention divided.
A clash of wills is just for like power against power. In
Got it.
Chronicles, they standardized the different splats against each other, so they can try to resist each other's effects on themselves. So you don't have a mage just going around going, "No, you're a chair. You're a chair. You're also a chair."
Got it.
But you're just straight up beating the shit out of him. So out of this person formerly known as Mark. And Mark rolled 1 success on defense. You tell me how you fuck up Mark, the technopath.
This is literally like grabbing and just spiking against the ground repeatedly over and over and over again.
Maybe you're
Like, where do
taking
you grab him?
it.
What is its physical form? Is it humanoid?
It's a humanoid. I would say spider-legged, like a drider, like not
Okay.
like centaur, but spider bottom, made of various bits of like cars, machines,
Well,
washing machines.
Great. So for maximum
Frames.
biological effect, right? That's grabbing by the legs and like whipping the upper body repeatedly against the ground. We're going for concussion. We're going for whiplash. We're going the whole 9 yards on that.
Okay, that's awesome. You do a shit ton of damage to him. I will say you smash open Technopath's cocoon like an egg, revealing the cockpit or the center, the heart of it, where the core of Technopath lies. And over walks the hippo. He stares at it and then shoots lasers out of his eyes into Technopath's brain. I'm going to use your SecChem rating for this. Um,
Currently 8.
plus your shoot rating, which is what it uses.
So that's 5. So 8 and 5 is 13.
So I'm gonna roll. You want to roll 13 dice for me?
So let's see here. We'll start with 10.
Yo, this is the best affinity this entire fucking game.
This is great for unlucky people like me too, because I need I'm okay. So that's 3, 4 successes on the first 10. So I've got another. Whoop. Now I'm losing dice. Well, I know how to get more. Odd duck dice.
Yeah.
So 4, 5, 6. Those were both 10s. So 7, and it's a 10. That left the tray. Okay, that's it. 7.
7 successes. Holy shit. All right. So that's 5 net. And so this should be enough to kill a regular being, but you recall this is a lifeless. It needs a bit more to take it down.
Isn't it continuing to take plague damage?
Yes, but the spirit behind it, like, basically, give me some mysticky mumbo jumbo. Your mummies, and this is an antithesis of you.
Okay.
Like, invent powers if you want.
Oh. Can we, given that we are the embodiment of the judges, can we... Oh, where's... I want to look up my my god quickly, but if you have something, Rhett, go ahead and roll with it. I have it.
Okay.
As this shade sort of spreads out her arms and says, "In the service and name of Nebka, the human pride which created you, I cast it down. I pass judgment upon you." And just full force of what that means, the sin of human pride within the eyes of the judge that she primarily serves, the foolishness of humanity, and that word you really like, hubris.
I never use that in games. I use that to describe myself.
At airports.
I say arrogance at airports. For
You
example, O'Hara Airport is a testament to mankind's arrogance.
You have said hubris at airports multiple times, specifically to describe them.
I hate that airport so much. Yes. And with that, the lasers coming out of your companion's eyes shift color to that you most closely associate with your judge. The spiritual energy coming off the hippo is beyond that of your comprehension. Your judge has come to Earth using him as a conduit to erase this blight upon the realms. And the burned out husk of Technopath charred, melted mess when the beams finally stop. And the hippo turns to you and says, "You still have 3 more." And then shakes. And that's where we're going to end the session. So, hi, Ben, Big Dad. This was a game of Mummy that we came up with today. Because, I don't know, stuff happened, and I didn't want to run a game about the possibility of child murder today. So, we'll get back to it in a couple weeks. In the meantime, sit tight. We'll have some stuff for you. Players, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I love Mummy, and
Mummy's fucking jokes.
Mummy's it's awesome. When I first heard about the concept of Mummy, I was like, how do you play that game? Like, the power level is absurd. The answer is you just do it. I love it. And I'm really glad that we got to introduce a new player to the game.
Yay. Yeah, no, it's like coming from the more well-known like World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness properties, it takes a little bit of getting used to. There's just a lot of structure to its mechanics that's different, but like honestly, to have this level of awesome, you would have to have like an Arete 5 mage with like 5 dots and multiple spheres, whereas like
and spend a lot of time doing the one
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Whereas Mummy's like, I like this, especially for shorter format games. It's like wake up, be a rock monster.
Do you want a fucking talking hippo? Here's your talking hippo.
Exactly. So this is a hoot. Yeah, I'm curious to see how we get on with the dwindling Sekhem.
It changes the game. I've never played for long enough to get below 7, I think. But that would be something that would play into it. We'd have to start getting smarter or just be really fast.
And as time goes on, your descent rolls occur less and less frequently.
Ah.
But did you enjoy it, Rhett?
Yeah, no, it's a hoot.
Good.
Yeah, like, and none of you used any like the weirder powers. Like the first time Rose and I actually got to play it with Rick Wheeler from Mondo Cane. It was a Contagion Chronicle game, and this disease was affecting this space disease was affecting everything, and so all right, well, okay, we got this information we needed. Now let's take out this hospital. We're mummies. We're thinking of the greater good. Okay, Rosie lit it on fire, and then I turned the hospital into a liquid. Because I had a power to turn objects from like solid to liquid, liquid to gas, just transform its state of matter. I'm like, hey, is a hospital an object? Yeah, I guess so. Boop. 1 point, please. So it was a burning, liquefied hospital that just killed everybody inside of it. And that is fucking amazing.
And I just dropped the link to that Contagion Chronicle game in the chat.
Since you're not a mod, you can't post URLs.
But I did.
Well, it's stars, I think, for everybody else.
Oh, all right. Well, look it up. It's awesome.
Do you want to be a mod?
Do you want me to be a mod? Question.
There, try again. And at some point, I am going to get emotes for this. I don't have a good at art brain, but they will be coming eventually. Anyway, anyone have anything to plug?
Find me on Vorpal Tales Thursdays and Sundays, maybe some other days occasionally. Keep an eye on my Twitter for what I'm doing. Follow Odd Duck Dice. I'm hoping to have a shop opening the end of June or beginning of July. My platypus logo is because platypuses are clearly the oddest of ducks. They are venomous billed land puppies, as far as I'm concerned.
They
So check it
also
out.
lay eggs.
They do lay eggs because they're really cool. Check it out.
And if you want to see me playing a professional wrestler who's in the cult of ecstasy, I will be playing my new character, Max Mercury, on the Onyx Path Twitch channel tomorrow night, I believe, for their Lord of the Traditions Super Kickstarters reward stream.
I am probably going to be tuning into that. That sounds awesome. And again, Big Dad here. I'll probably have something next Friday. Not this. And not Mage because of... Since our scheduling got messed up, we're going to get back to it. But we're going to
We are
finish...
going to finish that chronicle, damn it.
Literally, it's cursed, but we're going to finish it. Thank you for watching. Check me out on Vorpal Tales on Sundays. And if you have money for their Patreon, I'm in a Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express game that should be start airing soon.
And I am in a Patreon Changeling the Lost game on Vorpal Tales.
Yeah. So check us out. Do cool stuff. Is there anyone I can raid before I end this?
With our 2 viewers.
Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, we're going to raid Vorpal Tales. Where is my raid button? Here we go. Oh, I can just click that. Okay. Start raid. And it's you guys. It's the 2 of you. That's who we're raiding with. Thank you.